All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the order of operations. All right, your objective for this video is, as a student, you should be able to evaluate a numerical expression using multiple operations. That is your job. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is where a lot of sixth graders start to make mistakes. And it's not your fault because, unfortunately, some of your fifth grade teachers did not teach this to you correctly. Not all of them. I'm saying a lot of them do a really good job, but some of them actually teach this wrong in elementary school, and we have to fix it. So you need to really focus on this video because we need to make sure that you are 100% accurate in what you're doing. Okay, so you're going to need graphic organizer number 4, and it looks like this right here. You can get it from the back, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you need to, go ahead and pause. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. In our lives and in math, we need to do things in a certain order to make sure they turn out right. Okay, this is where the order of operations come into play. For example, okay, you don't put on your shoes before you put on your socks. That would be a little bit awkward, right? To have your socks over your shoes. That would be a little weird. Well, in math, we have the same type of rules. We need to do things in a certain order, okay? Why do we use them? Well, when an expression has more than one operation, you must know which order to solve them in order to arrive at the correct answer. If you don't, everybody gets a different answer and then nobody has it correct, okay? So, the order of operations, the definition. So at the beginning of your graphic organizer, at the very top, it says, what are the order of operations? Well, the order of operations are just a specific set of steps to follow in a multi-step problem to ensure that everyone gets the same final answer. So it's just a specific set of steps to follow. And if you just put this part down, you're good. A specific set of steps to follow. That's all the order of operations are. They are rules that all mathematicians all the time must follow in order to get the correct answer. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue here. Now, so there's 4 rules for order of operations. All right, there's basically 4 rules. First rule is you're going to perform calculations inside parentheses or brackets first. Step 2, you're going to solve exponents. They could also be square roots, but exponents. Step 3, you're going to perform all multiplication and division from left to right, and it's very important that you understand from left to right. This is where the mistake normally happens in 5th grade. All right, and you need to know multiplication and division, we consider those two married because they're together. The same with adding and subtracting, they're together, they're married, okay? They're from left to right, and we will show that several times. All right, so what does the P stand for? Well, the P stands for parentheses, so please write that in your graphic organizer. The P is for parentheses. The E, okay, stands for exponents, and there's an example of an exponent, 4 cubed. All right, notice the M and the D are together because they're married. All right, the M and the D mean multiply and divide. I also want you to write on your graphic organizer, I want you to write that those go from left to right. So that arrow, they are left to right. You need that arrow for those. Okay, and finally, adding and subtracting is the final one. And once again, I want you to put that arrow because it means left to right. All right, they're married. You do them kind of together. Now, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to show you some here. So, remember, you always do parentheses first, then you do exponents, then you're going to do multiply and then divide, but remember, from left to right, that's why we had the arrow, and finally you're going to do adding and subtracting from left to right. All right, we kind of call this the PEMDAS hopscotch. All right, so you do step 1 is to do parentheses, step 2 is to do exponents. Notice step 3, the M and the D are together, and step 4, the adding and subtracting together. That's very important in this video. All right? There is a common error, and this is what I'm talking about in 5th grade. This is what happened. Here's your common error. You need to understand that PEMDAS is only 4 steps. Parentheses, exponent, multiply and divide are a step, and adding and subtracting are a step. What a lot of people do is they do them in 6 steps, meaning they do parentheses, then exponents, then all the multiplying, then all the dividing. And if you do that, you're actually going to get them wrong because you do multiplying and dividing from left to right. If you do them in a multiply then divide order, you will get your answer wrong, especially in 6th grade. So, here's an importance. Always underline the portion of the problem you are solving and bring down the remaining parts of the problem. You will see we're going to use what I call the cyclone method. You need to show every single step, because every single step is required in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade, especially on the I step. But also every single teacher requires you to show these steps. So you need to get in the habit now. I will not give you any points for your worksheet, for your homework, or for your graphic organizer if you do not show me every single step. Just letting you know. All right, okay, we're going to go ahead. You see it down there? It should look like a cyclone. So what I mean by a cyclone is very simple. All right, boom, boom. See that upside down triangle? Looks like a cyclone. All right, notice they underlined everything that they did. They worked straight down. That's what we want to see. Let's get started on some. This is going to be kind of a long video, so let's go. Example number 1, we have 11 plus 15 minus 3 times 2. So the first thing that we do is we do parentheses. So let's find our parentheses. We're going to underline it. 15 minus 3. Well, there's only one operation inside, so we're going to go ahead and do 15 minus 3. That is 12. So you need to write down the rest of it. 11 plus 12 times 2. The next thing is exponents. We don't have any exponents, so we get to skip exponents. Let's move to multiply and divide. Do we have any multiply and divide? Well, we do have. We have 12 times 2. All right, we don't have any divide, so we're just going to go ahead and do 12 times 2, which is 24. So 11 plus 24. And finally, we're done with multiplying and divide, so we do adding and subtracting. We only have 1. 11 plus 24 is 35. We always circle our answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are done. The first answer is 35. Go ahead and example number 2. Hopefully you wrote that down. Okay, example number 2. Here we go. This one we start with parentheses. However, there are no parentheses, so we're going to go ahead and say that those are done. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which is exponents. Ooh, we do have an exponent that's right here. 6 squared. Remember, 6 squared is the same thing as 6 times 6, which is 36. Remember, we underline it and then write everything down the exact same that it was. Right? We need to show all of our steps. Next one. Done with exponents. Multiply and divide. Do we have any multiply? Absolutely. We do have a multiply. We have 5 times 2. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. We have 36 minus 13 plus 5 times 2, which is 10. So 5 plus 2 is 10. Oh, sorry, 5 times 2 is 10. Now, we're moving on. We only have adding and subtracting, and this is a very specific case where you need to follow from left to right. A lot of people would say, oh, dude, we do 13 plus 10 first. Well, actually, you don't. Okay? You work from left to right. Remember, when you do adding and subtracting, you're moving from left to right. So adding and subtracting, do we have those? Yes, we have a subtraction right here and an adding, but we're going to go from left to right. So we're going to do the one on the left first. 36 minus 13 gives us 23 plus 10, and 23 plus 10 then gives us 33. Okay, there you go. And that is the correct answer. We moved from left to right. If you would have done it wrong, you would have gotten an answer of 13, and that is not correct. Now let's go to example number 3. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do parentheses first. All right. Unfortunately, in this parentheses, there are 2 steps, so we have to be very careful. This is where they get difficult. So notice in our parentheses, we have division and we have an exponent. We don't do them at the same time. We do one at a time, and we still have to follow the order of operations. So inside our parentheses, we have an exponent and division. Well, which one comes first along our order of operations? And that would be our exponent. So the first thing you're going to do is the exponent. So we have 50 minus, in parentheses, 16 divided by, what's 2 squared? Well, 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 3. Now, we still have parentheses, so we're still working on parentheses, so we need to do that first. 16 divided by 4 is 4, so we have 50 minus 4 plus 3. We're down to adding and subtracting. Remember, we move from left to right again because we have both of them. So we need to do 50 minus 4 first, which is 46 plus 3, and 46 plus 3 gives us 49, and that is our answer. This is going to be a long video, but we're almost done here. Example number 4. We have 60 divided by 12 plus 4 to the 0th power times 3 times 5 in parentheses. Whoa, this one has a lot going on. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to do our parentheses, 3 times 5. There's only one operation there, so that gives us 15. We're going to bring everything else down. 60 divided by 12 plus 4 to the 0th power times 15. Now, the next one is exponents. We do have an exponent, 4 to the 0 power. You got to remember, any exponent to the 0 power is simply 1. So we have 60 divided by 12 plus 1 times 15. Now, multiply and divide. All right, we do have division. We do have multiplying. All right, which one do we do first? Well, we do the one on the left first. So we're going to go ahead and do that one right now. I'm going to change to white. So we're going to do division. 60 divided by 12, that's 5, plus 1 times 15. We're still doing multiplying and dividing, so we're going to do 1 times 15, 5 plus 15. Okay, and 5 plus 15 finally at the end. We're going to do adding and subtracting. That gives us 20. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the order of operations. All right, right now, okay, independent practice. I want you to do these following 2 on your independent practice. Pause the video. I'll continue. I'll show you the answer in just a second. Go. All right, I'm ready. Order of operations, should do exponents first. 3 squared is 9, so 5 plus 18 divided by 9 minus 1. We need to go ahead and do multiplying and dividing next, which is dividing. 5 plus 18 divided by 9 is 2 minus 1. Work from left to right. 5 plus 2 is 7. Minus 1 is 6. Answer should have been 6. Let's move on to this one. First thing we should do is parentheses. 3 times 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 3 times 3. Congratulations. Minus 5 to the 0 power. Next thing we should do is exponents. What is 5 to the 0 power? Well, that's simple. That is 1. So we have 3 times 3 minus 1. Okay, we need to do multiplying next. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 1. 9 minus 1. And that gives us an answer of 8. Those should have been your 2 answers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry this video got kind of long. However, this is your exit ticket. When you are done, you must show both of these to Mr. Williams. You need to show both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck. Hopefully you know what you're doing. If you need some help, please ask. You do have a worksheet. You do have IXL practice. It's going to get a little difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, happy hunting or happy math hunting.